So I'm going to show the start of tuning the system. So I have the bit 10, it's in place. The RCA outputs are disconnected from it. That's important for this. So we go to I/O configuration wizard. Next. I'm going to be using front left and front right inputs. We're going to put there's a CD that comes with the bit 10, so we'll put that in and we'll play track 1. Okay, that's in. Play track 1. Okay, so track 1 is playing. Insert installation CD into your vehicle CD player, play track 1, next. So we're gonna set the levels, and I already did that. You use these two front, this one and this one, and you just kind of make it so that it briefly blinks, and then you turn it down just a smidge below that. So then it's gonna ask you what speakers you have. So in this case, I have mids and tweeters, and in the back I have woofers, subwoofer. There's no crossover, next. And then it asks you to assign your channels. So in my case, 1 is my left woofer, right, 3, 4, and 5 is my sub. Next. So now it's gonna check for equalization. So we're gonna put this on track 2. Now track 2 is playing. Next. Please wait until bit 10 analyzes the head unit. Channel 1 completed. Channel 2 complete. Channel 3 complete. Channel 4 complete. Head unit is equalized. Press next. Press next to de-equalize the head unit. So what this is going to do is remove all of the factory equalization. So we're already on track 2. Click next. So it's going to automatically do the DEQ process. So the bit 10 will remove the factory EQ. Channel 1 complete. Two complete. 3 complete. 4 complete. 5 complete. Next. Okay. So it's going to update the bit 10. Updated. And then let's finalize this, which means that the bit 10 will boot up with that, and we can save it. So GLC DQ, save. All right, so I set my crossover frequencies after the automatic setup. So I've got my woofers, my door woofers, coming in at 100 Hertz. Remember, they go down to 90 Hertz in their frequency response. And I've got them coming out at 3750. I'm not sure if that's a good spot, but that's where I'm gonna start. The tweeters are coming in at 4000. Now it might seem like there's a gap there between 3750 and 4000, but if you think about it, if you've got two slopes that are intersecting, you actually have the area underneath that curve. So I need there to be a little bit of a gap, otherwise we end up with a hump at 4000 or whatever the number is. And then the subwoofer I have coming in at 20 and coming out at 100. All of these are 24 decibel octaves, or 24 decibel slopes on the filters. So now we're going to take a test listen, see how it sounds. It should be pretty poor, probably, but we'll take a listen to it. All right, so the next thing on our list will be time alignment, which is basically setting the distances that you are from all the speakers. So in my case, in the driver's seat, I'm 26 inches from this woofer, I'm 29 inches from that woofer, I'm 46 from here, I'm 48 from here, and my subwoofer is 55 away. So you measure them with like a tape measure or something rudimentary and enter them in here, and it kind of does some rough time alignment. All right, so I'm going to show you how I tune the system. Not how to tune the system, but how I do it. So, things that I use, I have a microphone stand. This is just a Samson microphone stand. It's pretty basic. You can get them at basically any music supply store. I think this one actually came from Amazon. So it's just a basic stand with a tripod base. The tripod base part of it's important, like that it's this type and not the tall, because this is going to sit on my seat. So then I have a mini DSP it's UMIK1, UMIK1. This is the box that it comes in. It's what it looks like. So every one of these has a serial number, and that serial number lets you download a configuration file, because every single speaker and every single microphone in the world have a way that they react. So you need to zero this out in order for the computer to be able to read accurately what's actually coming out of the speakers. So I'm just going to show you here. So we're going to go to the UMIK1 mini DSP website comes up. Here's the microphone. It's 79 bucks. Works really well. So it's a good option if you want to do it at home. I mean, honestly, this is cheaper than paying a company that does this kind of stuff, for an hour of their time. UMIK1. Here it is. So if you go to the website, UMIK1, you scroll down, unique calibration file download. So what we're going to do is we're going to type our serial number in. Mine is 703-8163. 703-8163. Submit. And it's going to download a file, regular calibration file and a 90-degree calibration file. For a stereo system, you want to use the 0 degree and you want to point the microphone at the speakers. For multi-channel or a surround application, use a 90-degree file and point the microphone at the ceiling. Recommended by our friends. Mini DSP built long-term relationships with the following software applications and is proud to showcase them as our recommended solutions: REW, Room EQ Wizard, or Dirac Live. There's also a way to use this on the iPad. So this is actually compatible with the iPad as well. So they have an app for that. So I already have this downloaded. I already downloaded and installed Room EQ Wizard. REW is available through here. If you just click on the link, it takes you right to the website and you can download it from here. It's a free application. It's a donation-based application, so you can donate if you like the app. So next, what we want to do, we're going to unplug that, turn up the brightness. So let's open Room EQ Wizard. So here's Rue. It's free. There's an update available. All right, recommended equipment. Oh, there's the mini DSP. So we're going to take this and we're going to plug it into the laptop. And we're going to go to RTA. And under Preferences, mic, we will see our microphone. Oh, there it is. Mini DSP UMIK1 detected. Is this for measurement? Yes. Do you have a calibration file? Yes, I do. Okay, let's find our calibration file. There it is. Done. So we have now added our calibration file. We're going to close this. Now, we're going to go to RTA. And we can see, let's see here, if I click the record button, you'll see there it is responding to me, my RTA. Now, when I set this up, I normally use spectrum mode, or you can use like a 1/12 octave mode, which will give you like these bar graphs if that's easier for you to read. Then you want to tell it the update interval should be 1 so that it updates quickly. And there's a here. Actually, let's go back to spectrum and let's enable smoothing. 1/12 smoothing. I think this is probably a better view to use. So that's REW, which we're going to be using. And then we're going to let's get the car playing. Let's get the this plugged in, and we'll get everything kind of set up. So need a place to work. I think that'll be fine. Let's get our microphone stand. So let's turn the car on. All right. So what you want to do here is you want to play a pink noise track, or sorry, a white noise track. So you play a white noise track, and we're going to be going back and forth between the bit 10 and the REW. Okay. So the first thing that we can do is, all right, so the first thing that we can do is we want to make sure that the EQ link is disconnected. So basically, if this EQ link box is checked, then what that'll do is when I make a change to the right side, it'll automatically make that same change to the left side, which I don't want to do here. So uncheck this box, and then we're going to we can flatten out the EQ. So click flat. Go here, click flat. Go here, click flat. Go here, click flat. Now, we're going to start off with our woofer. Okay? So this is channel 1. We're going to go here and we're going to solo channel 1. So now that is the only speaker that's playing inside the car. And on REW, we can go here and we can say record. Now we'll see that there's a hump here. Now in this case, for this speaker, I only care about, because my speaker comes in at 100 Hertz and it goes out at 3750. So I'm going to go blow this up. Click here, and we're going to do 100 and 3750. Apply settings, and scrolled up too far. Okay. So here's my 100, here's my 3750. And we can see that this is fairly flat. It's not great. It is going to trail off at the end here. That's normal. So what we want to try to do is flatten some of this stuff out. So there's a peak at 200, there's a peak at 400 or 350, there's valley at 300, and let's see what we can do to flatten that out. So let's look at 200. Let's bring that down just a little bit. And then let's go to 250. Let's bring that up a bit. Just going to help with this guy here. Then if we look at the next one, so let's take a look here. So this is evened out quite a bit. I could still bring the 200 down a little bit more. Then this 250 probably still needs to go up a little bit more. We can look at some of these over here. So really, you know, I want to average out somewhere in the middle here. So really, I still need to bring the 200 down. I probably need to bring a 350 down a little bit, 315 down. And then over here, I can bring up my 1K just to try to average this out a little bit. I can also bring down my 1.25. And can bring up my 3. All right, so when we get to where we think we want to be, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to switch to a different speaker. So we'll go to our right woofer. We can wait a couple seconds for this to update, and kind of have some similar things here on the right woofer. So we'll add a little hump at 315. We have a bump at 500. And then we have kind of a valley here. So at like 725 and 850. And you'll find some of these things are hard to even out. So like, you know, there's a hump at 800, there's a low at 850, there's a hump at 900, then like our 1000 is kind of high, all the way up to say 1250. So you can kind of bring down the 1000, bring down the 1250. You're not really going to be able to do anything about this 800 though, because you drop that 800, this is going to fall too, and you don't have a way to bump up 750, for example. So kind of do the best you can, and then individually you just want to go through each speaker. When you get to the tweeters, obviously they're on a different frequency response. So if you go to, you know, the tweeters here, this one, and we solo that. Now in this case, we're going from 4,000 to infinity. So we're going to go here again, and we're going to say that this is 4,000, and this side is, let me say 25,000. And there's our graph. So we can see where that lies, and we can adjust these points as well. So let's say that we need, you you know, a bump at 6, and we need a lowering at 8, and you can kind of just go through individually and try to even everything out, and that lowering at 8 wasn't what I actually needed, so that's better. So you go through each speaker individually. Then when you're done, you can play all 4 of them, and you can kind of even everything out, say from 20 to 20K on the entire graph. So this is where, you know, looking at a graph like this, you might want to say bump the tweeters up a little bit, knock the woofers down, bump the tweeters up a little bit to, you know, to take care of this falling off that you see. Because everything up here is tweeter, everything down here is mid-range. The subwoofer would be down here. So let's say we take our 2 tweeters and we bump those up 3 decibels. See what that does to the right part of our graph. The white noise track on the Bit 10 CD is only 15 minutes, so you might need to restart that, which I just had to. So it looks like I actually brought these up a little too much, so let's take these down by 2. So that honestly looks pretty good, pretty flat. So now from there, you can adjust your EQ to be what you actually want it to be. You can see my subwoofer is a big hump, because I like my sub a little hot. And this gives us our starting point. So that's pretty much it. Gives you a starting point, and then you can play from there with your EQ and bump and lower the frequencies that you would like. But this just gives you a nice start. And it helps you to filter out all of the abnormalities in the cabin. And one thing you can do is you can look at both tweeters together. So there's both tweeters together. I've got a hump at 7K. I'm a little weak on the high end. So maybe I want to pump this up a bit. Honestly, the tweeters are really flat to begin with. The woofers are a little all over the place, but that's okay. But we smooth those out pretty good too. Besides this dip here, which there really isn't a good way to get rid of that, fortunately. Not without raising this or raising this. So we'll try that out, we'll listen to it, we'll play with it a little bit, and we'll kind of adjust from there. But I think it's going to give us a good starting point to go off of. So thanks for watching. Hopefully, you know, you learned something here and you can try something out. Finalize our Bit 10, close our software, close this, and then we get to take a listen. Okay, so